You know what's funny? The pest control industry is worth over $6 billion a year. $6 billion. And yet, sitting in almost every kitchen in America, there's a single ingredient, costs maybe $3, that mice absolutely cannot stand. Won't go near it. Won't touch anything it's been placed around. And the company's charging you $200, $300, sometimes $500 a visit. They know about it. They've always known. They just don't have any reason to tell you. Today, I'm going to tell you. And once you hear this, you're never going to look at your spice cabinet the same way again. Stick with me, because I'm also going to share a bonus trick at the end that takes this method to a whole other level. Something that keeps mice away not just for days, but through entire seasons. You don't want to miss that part. Let's talk about the mouse problem for a second. Because if you've dealt with it, you know how demoralizing it is. You hear the scratching in the walls at night. You wake up and find little droppings near your stove, behind your fridge, along the baseboards. You throw out food that's been chewed through. You wash your counters 3 times and still feel like nothing is clean. And what do most people do? They go buy snap traps, maybe glue boards. They call an exterminator. They spend money on those ultrasonic plug-in devices that get 4 stars on Amazon and do absolutely nothing. Some people go full chemical, rodenticides, poison bait stations, and then they've got a whole other problem when something dies inside the wall and the smell takes over the entire house for 2 weeks. Here's the thing nobody tells you at the hardware store. Mice are smart. They're suspicious by nature. Biologists actually call it neophobia, a fear of new things. So even when you set a trap perfectly, mice will often avoid it for days because it's something unfamiliar in their environment. And poisons? Yeah, they work sometimes, sure. But mice build resistance. Populations bounce back. And the ones that survive? They teach avoidance behavior to the next generation. You're basically running on a treadmill. The expensive solutions fail over and over again because they're treating symptoms, not the actual reason mice are coming in and staying. There's a better way, and it starts with understanding what mice actually hate. I want to take you back for a second, not too far, just a few generations. Before pest control companies existed, before there were products lining the shelves of every big box store, people handled mice the old-fashioned way. And they handled them well. Old farmhouses, root cellars, grain storage buildings, these weren't overrun with rodents even though they were packed with food. Why? Because the people who lived and worked in those spaces understood something intuitive. Certain smells act as territorial warnings for mice. Certain plants, certain spices, certain compounds in nature signal danger. And mice, being the survival-focused creatures they are, simply don't go where those signals are present. There are old accounts of Amish and rural European households keeping dried herbs and specific spices near their grain stores and food pantries, specifically to deter rodents. This wasn't folklore for the sake of it. It was practical, generational knowledge passed down because it worked, consistently, without poison, without traps, without anyone's credit card. Somewhere along the way, that knowledge got buried, not because it stopped working. It still works perfectly, but because there's no money in telling people to spend $3 at a grocery store. The money is in the service contract, the quarterly visit, the bait station subscription. Keep that in mind. The ingredient I'm talking about is peppermint oil, pure concentrated peppermint oil. And before you roll your eyes and say you've heard this before, hold on. Because most people who've tried it and say it didn't work made the same 2 or 3 critical mistakes. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to use it so it actually does what it's supposed to do. Here's why peppermint oil works on a basic biological level. Mice rely on their sense of smell far more than humans do. Their olfactory system is extraordinarily sensitive. It's how they detect predators, find food, navigate territory, and communicate with each other. Peppermint oil contains a compound called menthol, and at high concentrations, menthol is genuinely overwhelming to a mouse's sensory system. It doesn't just smell bad to them, it's disorienting. It interferes with their ability to pick up the other scent signals they depend on. Being near a strong peppermint concentration is, for a mouse, like trying to function with someone blasting an air horn directly into your ear. They avoid it instinctively and persistently. Now, here's how to do this right. First, you need the right product. Go to any grocery store, health food store, or dollar store and look for pure peppermint essential oil. You're not looking for peppermint extract, the kind used for baking. That's diluted and won't be potent enough. You want 100% pure peppermint essential oil. A small bottle runs anywhere from $2 to $4 depending on where you shop. That's your whole investment. Second, you need cotton balls. Regular cotton balls, the kind you probably already have. These are your delivery system. The cotton holds the oil and releases the scent slowly over time, which is exactly what you want. Now here's the key part most people miss, and this is where the method fails when people say it doesn't work. You cannot be shy with the oil. A few drops is not enough. Soak each cotton ball. Pour the oil directly onto it until the cotton ball is saturated. You should be able to smell it strongly from several feet away. If it barely smells to you, it is not going to deter a mouse. The concentration has to be high. Next, placement. This is the second place people go wrong. They put cotton balls in the middle of a room or in random spots and wonder why nothing changes. Mice don't run through the middle of open spaces. They hug walls. They travel along baseboards, behind appliances, inside cabinets, along the back edges. That's where you need to be placing these. Go around your kitchen and think like a mouse. Behind the refrigerator. Push 1 or 2 cotton balls back there. Inside the cabinet under your sink, especially near the back corners and around any pipe openings. Along the backs of lower cabinets. Near your stove, behind it, if you can get back there. If you have a pantry, place them in the corners and along the base of the wall. If you know where mice have been getting in, any gap around a pipe, any crack near a foundation, any space under a door, that is a priority spot. For entry points specifically, don't just place a cotton ball nearby. Pack the gap lightly with steel wool first, then place a saturated cotton ball right at the opening. Steel wool stops physical entry. The peppermint deters any attempt to chew through or push past it. That combination is extremely effective. Now, and this is important, you need to refresh these every 2 to 3 weeks. Peppermint oil evaporates. Once the scent fades significantly, you've lost your deterrent. Set a reminder on your phone. Make it part of your routine. This is the maintenance step people skip, and then they conclude the method stopped working when really they just stopped doing it. Total cotton balls needed for an average kitchen, somewhere between 10 and 15. Total oil used per refresh, maybe a third of your bottle. This is a months-long solution for under $5. Think about that compared to a pest control contract. One more thing. If you have pets, particularly dogs or cats, be aware that peppermint oil at high concentrations can be irritating to them as well. Keep the cotton balls tucked in spaces your pets can't access. Under appliances, inside cabinets with child safety latches, behind the refrigerator. The scent will still do its job from those locations. You don't need it sitting out in the open. Now let's talk about what you can actually expect. If you have mice actively present in your home, you're not going to wake up the next morning to nothing. What you're going to notice over the first week is a change in behavior. The signs of activity, the droppings, the chewed packaging, the sounds at night will start appearing in different areas or stopping in the areas where you've placed your deterrents. Mice will look for exits or alternate paths. That's what you want. You're not trapping them. You're making your space an environment they don't want to be in. By week 2, if you've placed the cotton balls correctly and refreshed them at the right time, most people see a dramatic reduction in signs of activity. By the end of the first month of consistent use, the presence of mice in treated areas typically drops to near 0. I've tested this across different seasons. Fall and winter, when mice are most motivated to come indoors, are the real proving grounds. Properly maintained peppermint placements hold up even during peak season, when mice are aggressively seeking warmth. Compared head-to-head with snap traps alone, traps catch what's already there. They don't prevent new mice from entering. Peppermint, used at the entry points, stops the problem at the door. Used together, they're actually a strong combination. But peppermint alone, done right, outperforms plug-in ultrasonic devices every single time. Those things are genuinely useless. Don't waste your money. Now for that bonus tip I promised you. Here's how you take this to the next level. Mix your peppermint oil with a small amount of white vinegar in a spray bottle. About 15 to 20 drops of oil per cup of vinegar. Top it off with water. Shake it well. Now you have a spray you can apply directly along baseboards, around door frames, along windowsills, and across any threshold where mice might enter. The vinegar carries the peppermint deeper into surfaces, and the scent combination is even more repellent than oil alone. Spray it every week or 2 along your perimeter. Costs almost nothing. Works year-round. And as a side bonus, it also deters ants and spiders. 1 spray bottle, 3 problems handled. All right. If this helped you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. Every week, I'm putting out videos like this one, real solutions that actually work, cost next to nothing, and that nobody in the industry wants you to know about. Hit the like button if you're going to try this, and drop a comment below telling me where mice have been the biggest problem in your house. I read every single comment. Next week, I'm covering something that is going to completely change how you deal with ants. And the main ingredient is something you probably have in your bathroom cabinet right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Remember, the best solutions were never the expensive ones. See you next week.